Well, I'm Gregor, and I'm the guitarist and I guess songwriter for Paradise Lost, and we're here at the Roundhouse in Camden in London to do a 25th anniversary show with Lacuna Coil and Catatonia. Yeah, we formed in '88 and April '88 actually, so it's earlier this year. But yeah, 25 years since the incarnation. It was me, our vocalist Nick, and our original drummer Matt Archer, who will be along tonight. It's just a bunch of friends, school friends, basically. Known each other from the age of, well, a couple of the guys since I was 11, another couple of guys since I was 16, so it was just, we were friends first, we all liked similar type of music, and just, how kids do, just start banging around on instruments together, and I'm as surprised as anyone that we're still here doing it, you know. So. At the time it was quite extreme stuff, it was kind of the underground death metal thing, and the death doom metal stuff, some punk stuff, and we played a lot of underground punk clubs in the UK with bands like Extreme Noise, Terror, Carcass, early incarnations of Napalm Death, Godflesh, people like that, you know. So it was a very small scene, it was all tape trading scene, and we were all self-promoted, and nobody had any money or any record labels at the time, and then it just all kind of spiraled into Peaceville Records and E-Rake Records and so on and so forth, and I'm just kind of here. Getting a record deal was quite amazing because we got 2 offers on the same day from E-Rake and Peaceville Records, who at the time only had a handful of bands each, and we were just like, wow, this is great, you know. But when we got the contract, it was 1 sheet of paper with about 2 paragraphs on, and we're like, yeah, where do I sign, you know? So yeah, if you go in 25 years, I guess to produce an album once every 2 years or something, and if you were going to do it the same every single time, that's like working in a production line to me. I don't really see the point. The whole point of this, for me, is still enjoying it with a bunch of friends. It's the whole point we started it, and it's the whole point we continue, because it's a job satisfaction. People say, oh, you're in a band for a living. It's like, yeah, we have been since maybe '92. Oh, you're so lucky. And I say, yeah, I am. Yeah. I'm very lucky. So I want to enjoy it. And you know, it's not for the fame. It's not for the money. It's just because it's fun to do. You know, I guess it's like being a professional snooker player or something. You know, it's your hobby and you turn it into a career or something. Yeah, like I say, I'm as surprised as anyone. You know, we just always took it a day at a time. Never worry about the future. Never think what's going to be around the corner, because I don't see the point. You know, you're only as good as your last album. Well, the songwriting process for us is I come up with a few melodies, riffs, very basic song structures, and then send them to our vocalist, who puts some melody lines on himself, sends it back, and we kind of to and fro for what can be months at some points. Sometimes some songs come together in days, some take 6 months or more. It just depends how it settles into a groove, and then we go and bash it out with the band and see what it turns into. But we never plan records because they're like snapshots. You know, my ideas now might be totally different to 6 months' time. So we're not the type of band that writes while we're on the road, because your album invariably will become an extension of what you're playing live. So I think it's better to finish that, you know, the touring section of things, and then think, right, where am I now? What are my thoughts right now? You know. I'm really interested in film and photography and things like that, and always have been really. Anything artistic, kind of, you know, really. I mean, your website's an artwork, so yeah, always been interested in that. I mean, I come from a time where it was all gatefold sleeves, picture discs, etc., and artwork and the packaging was always a huge part of the thing. You spent hours looking at this thing and trying to read something into it that might not even be there, you know. And same with the lyrics and stuff. So we come from that kind of generation where that's hugely important, and I think that comes across in us putting out records, because we spend so much time touring and froing with artists, etc., and making sure that we think it's all integral and it has something to say, etc. But you know, like my kids, their generation, have no idea about it. It's like download a track, hear a track, they don't even know the name of the band, never mind the artwork. So I know I'm sounding old there, but it's a fact, you know. I mean, I take pictures of things all the time, and book covers, whatever they are. you know, it's kind of something that I think about all the time. So even if we haven't got an album to do for 2 years, take pictures, always remember the name of who's done it and things like that, and then go back and see if, you know, go to the band. I think this is really good. What do you think? And that happens with everyone. It happened with Dave McKean. That's how that came about. That's how it came about with the last artist, Val Noir from Paris. He just saw some stuff. We thought it was really cool. We thought, and he liked our idea to do something a little bit like Art Deco with it. So in golds. So you know, each time we approach it differently and think how should we. What artwork would suit this style of this album? So our sound right at this minute is kind of as pure a representation as we're ever going to be. We might diversify from this again, but I think it's every influence that we've ever had kind of poured into a melting pot, and not consciously. Again, it's just how it came about. So I think that's kind of why this 25-year thing ties together so well, because it's all come a big full circle type thing. I'm in the Roundhouse, oh dear, pun. But yeah, it's all come full circle unintentionally, and it almost puts a full stop on it, and then we don't know where we're going to go from here. We're just going to start from scratch and see what happens. Yeah. When we were doing the set list for this, we thought, you know, it's easy to do a set where it's all crowd pleasers, you know, but you do that in a normal set, and to make this something different, we wanted to do something that has something from every point in our career. And at one point in this set, we do a song that's probably the most extreme song from our first album, and straight after it, we do probably the most poppy song from our most poppy album. So it's a complete contrast, just to show people that this is how different it has been, you know, and everything in between during, you know, throughout the set as well. With the Draconian Times album tour, it was more of it was something that I'm not a fan of things like that per se, you know. But it wasn't about me. I found out when we did those shows that it's more for the fans. When I met people afterwards, there were people who were now bank managers when the album came out, but they were metalers then, and they hadn't been to a metal concert in 15 years or something. And then there was the kids who loved the album but were too young to see it first time round. So then it makes you understand why people do things like that. As far as the album goes, I think Draconian Times was just an album that was right place, right time. I think it still stands up as an album today, but you know, if it had come out 10 years later, 10 years earlier, who's to say what the popularity would. It just struck a chord at that moment in time. You know. Personally, the one that always sticks with me is the Icon album. Just because before that, you know, I like a lot of stuff. I like the album previous to that, which is Shades of God. But Icon was the one where we kind of suddenly gained a direction. Everything before that was kind of bits of this, bits of that, and that one was this is a Paradise Lost album, and it couldn't be anything else. Artwork, music, everything. And before that, we had no idea what we just did what we did. We didn't actually know what we were or anything, or what direction to go in. And it was a strange time because we were touring and recording for maybe 3-4 years solid, away from home. Didn't go back home. We recorded the Icon album, went straight on tour in America, then came back, did a tour with Sepultura, then did our own tour, then went in the studio, recorded Draconian Times, then went on tour with that. So it's all a bit of a blur. But that's why I think Icon was the one where it kind of defined our sound, and when we did Draconian Times, it just polished it up. So I see them as kind of almost the same album, those albums, but that's the raw version and that's the polished version.